We want to welcome you guys to the Florida Startup Summit. This is the third annual that we've done, and this is the biggest by far. We actually have had over 500 registered attendees. Actually, now it's close to 600, and from over 60 cities in over 17 states, and even one international person. Yeah, pretty insane. Who thinks that they traveled the furthest to be here? Raise your hand. We have one over there, seems pretty confident, and one over there. Where'd you travel from? You raised your hand, right? Yeah, where did you come in from? Yeah. Spain? Whoa. I think he beat you, Jordan. Jordan came in from Seattle. He was like, I'm gonna get quiet now. Cool. So I want to get a feel for who we have in the room today. So raise your hand if you are a student or faculty at UF. Nice. Cool, almost half the room, I would say. Raise your hand if you're building a startup or thinking about starting a startup. Nice, that's great. Raise your hand if you're an investor. Founders, look around. Those are the people that you want to go pitch during lunchtime. Perfect. So, all right, we're going to go into a quick backstory. So I'm Pablo Casilimas, co-founder and managing partner of OneSixOne Ventures. We are a venture fund that started right here in Gainesville, and we're now managing about $5 million. We've invested in 28 companies, and really it started right here when we were students. So this is a picture from when me and Justice first met. That's my friend Steven in the middle, who actually introduced the two of us. And when we met, we were both starting our first companies. And we were looking for mentorship, we were looking for investors, we were looking for a community, and we couldn't find it. And so we got together and we started hosting events. In the beginning, it was a lot of backyard meetups. We had like pizza and we'd talk about ideas, and it rapidly started to grow. And by 2020, we were doing the largest tech events in the Southeast US. And then the pandemic hit, and it forced us to cancel everything. So we quickly pivoted. We ended up rapidly launching this accelerator program, literally just weeks after the pandemic. And in 2 years, we ended up helping 40 companies raise over $13 million. And then one of them got acquired. And while this is happening, me and Justice are still kind of trying to grow our companies. This is kind of like a passion project. And we're thinking, okay, what if one of these companies ends up being worth $1 billion and we have no equity? So we went to the VCs that were investing in our accelerator companies, and we said, hey, can we get a scout fee for the deals that we source? And they all said no. So we're like, let's just launch our own VC fund. We're like, how hard could it be? Who's gonna stop us? And we were very naive and we didn't know how difficult it would be. Obviously, we were 26 at the time, had never managed money before, never worked at a fund before. And we actually sold our cars to start the fund because it's very expensive to get a fund set up. So it was like, and in the early stages of starting a fund, you actually don't make a lot of money. You don't get a lot of liquidity in the early days. So I happened to be, the month that we launched the fund, I had moved to Seattle right after selling my car, and just for a couple months. And I ended up starting to walk dogs on Rover. So these are all dogs that I took care of on Rover, which is a dog sitting app for those who don't know, and they got acquired for $2.3 billion by Blackstone earlier this year. But yeah, 5 stars on Rover. And now, I've been fortunate enough to host really great events in Seattle, and actually the founder of Rover has become a really good friend of mine. I actually took him powerlifting for the first time. And the truth is, when we first launched, nobody believed in us and nobody wanted to invest in us. And it kind of makes sense. We were just like kids trying to launch a fund. So, but we didn't give up. And we reached this pivotal moment where we were struggling so much to raise capital, and we had this breakthrough. Instead of telling people what we're gonna do, let's show them, right? Let's bring them together and let's connect them and let's create value for the ecosystem. And then we'll be able to benefit from that long term. So the first year we started bringing events back post-pandemic was 2023, and it was working so well. We were meeting great founders, we were meeting investors, and so we decided to do 7 events that year in 3 cities. For comparison, this year we're on track to do over 70 events in over 13 cities. Globally, actually. We did our first international event this year. So I'll highlight a few of them for you guys, and then we're gonna get started with our first keynote. So this is Seattle Venture Day. We rented a whole beer hall. We had about 400 people come out. Up on the top left, that's the co-founder of Rover speaking. Next to him is Matt McElwain, the top VC in all of the Pacific Northwest, 3 times Forbes Midas list. Down here you have Nick Huser, co-founder of OfferUp. We actually backed his new company. It's called Gone.com. So we were in the first round there. And this is a recent one. We actually rented we hosted an event at a private 17-acre buffalo ranch in Issaquah outside of Seattle. And we have up top, the guy with the microphone, that's Alex Ceballos. So he was like head of corporate development at Amazon. He's the one who did the Rivian deal, $2 billion invested into Rivian. And he just launched a startup called Augur, and they just raised a $100 million seed round. Imagine raising $100 million off a pitch deck, off an idea. That's what he did. So we had this guy over here, Michael Vogelsong. He actually founded deep learning at Amazon, and the deep learning team. And then, yeah, a lot of interesting people. John Rossman up on the top right. He was EVP at Amazon. He actually wrote The Amazon Way, which is like a really well-known book. And then Jim Harding, he actually owns the ranch. He's the one holding that the chip right there. So he was actually on the team that built DOS, which was bought by Microsoft early on and became Windows, the first operating system. And then he also was hired by Jeff Bezos to build the Amazon Marketplace. So, bringing in some really notable people. This is Eugenio Pace at one of our other events in Redmond near Seattle. He built Optzero, had a $6.5 billion exit to Okta. Really incredible story. And then the last one I'll highlight is our first international event that we did. We actually had Harry Stebbings. Who's heard of the 20VC podcast? Raise your hand. Okay, some people in the room. So they actually get like around 40 million downloads a month. It's one of the top podcasts in the venture capital space. He started it out of his bedroom when he was 18 years old, and now he's 29, and he turned it into a fund, and he's managing $850 million. And he is the founder of this fund. It's insane. So we had him speak. It was such an incredible event. We had 120 people come out in London, and we'd never been to London before. It's crazy. So, what's the big deal? Why are we doing all these events? What is the purpose, right? How does that relate to venture capital? Well, to be a great venture capitalist, you need access to great deals, right? You have to raise money, and then you have to help those companies perform. You have to help them grow and scale, and they need a lot of help in the early days because most of these are first-time founders, and they've never done it before. So the events, basically, we're building a community to help them get access to customers, helping them get revenue, and then helping them raise money. And then we get to benefit because we also get access to the deal flow, and we get to invest in them and really help them accelerate. So that's really, we're building the first venture capital fund in the US that's community first and content first. So every event that we're doing, we're getting content around it too, and putting it out. Almost building similar to like a 20VC model, but in the US. And so the name OneSixOne, we actually named the firm after the Fibonacci sequence, which is the golden ratio, 1.61. They say it's the most efficient ratio for growth to occur. And we want to create a community for startups to grow as efficiently as possible. And so that's where the name comes from. And that you'll see the little Fibonacci spiral, that's part of our logo. And the last thing I want to end on is, this is a really great opportunity for people in the room here. So these are some students that actually pitched at an event we hosted right here at UF about 8 months ago. And they, I believe they're sophomores, second year. We ended up actually investing in them back in like April. Super impressive team. And next thing you know, they get into Y Combinator. And now, so this is Nullify. That's them pitching at Demo Day on Y Combinator. They just pitched like a month ago. And within 2 weeks, they raised $3 million at a $25 million valuation. Dropped out, moved to SF. They're all in. And they are going viral on LinkedIn like every day. It's insane. So this could literally be anybody in the room, right? If you have an idea, if you want to build a startup, you could be the next one to go to Y Combinator. You could be the next one to raise $3 million and go build something big and go change the world. So, and we have people here from all over the country who can really help you get to that next level and help you scale and mentor you, advise you, maybe write the first check, right? So one of our co-investors that invested early in Nullify is actually in the room, is going to be speaking on a panel. Alex from Not Yet Ventures, so you'll hear from him. So I got 3 special requests from everybody in the room, and then we're going to kick it off. Number 1, I want everybody here to take action on what you learned today. Because if you don't, this will be wasted time. So whatever you hear, we've put a lot of work in defining the speakers, And they're gonna drop some knowledge on you guys that you guys, I mean, this is like hard to get in front of people like this. So the things that you learn, take some notes, make calendar, reminder, whatever it is, Monday morning, let's go. Take action on it. Because that's what's gonna separate you from everybody else. And that's what's gonna allow you to build something and scale and make an impact. Number 2, meet somebody new. So during the breaks, during lunch, during coffee breaks, go up to somebody you've never met before and just introduce yourself. No agenda, not asking for anything, just create the connectivity. There's a lot of really interesting people in this room, and you never know who you're gonna meet. And you might be able to help them, or they might be able to help you. So make some new connections. And last, because we have people who flew in from all over the country to be here to speak, please be respectful during the panels. If you wanna talk, you can just pop out, go into one of the rooms out there. But yeah, how does that sound? Awesome.